Some say I'm the voice, give my people hope. I'm the chosen one, some say I'm the GOAT. This that Holy Ghost, don't you overdose. This that living legend, hands around your fucking throat. Get it? I am a menace, I am the end and the fucking beginning. It ain't no question about who was the realest. Niggas are gimmicks, they gotta be kidding. Follow my lead and I'll show you the way. I am believing.
So, I saw this post with Jim Carrey on Bill Maher's show on The Shade Room. I'm going to play that clip for you here in a second. When I saw this clip, and anybody, well, if you like me, I follow The Shade Room on Instagram. And I follow The Shade Room to keep up with what's on black people's mind. There's a lot of black people that follow The Shade Room. They're in the comments and everything, to keep up with what's on black people's mind and what we have to say. Jim Carrey goes on Bill Maher's show, talks about how he bought some Nikes. I'm going to play that clip for you now. And I'm going to talk about how black people responded to it and the issue I have with how black people responded to this.
Check this out. I went out today and bought me some Nikes. Oh, yeah. Some freedom-friendly Nikes. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Freedom-friendly.
Salute to Colin Kaepernick, to Nike. Congratulations on your fantastic job. Thank you so much. Check a bit.
Okay, listen. All right. Now, when I saw this on The Shade Room, black folk were talking about Jim Carrey come to the cookout. Some motherfuckers saying, y'all sleep. Jim Carrey been invited to the cookout ever since he was on In Living Color. And even in my post, I said, I have no problem with Jim Carrey directly. The Mask, Liar, Liar, The Truman Show. I mean, as far as his movies are concerned, I have no problem with him. He hasn't came out and being problematic like Mel Gibson, saying something to his wife on the effect of, you know, he hopes she get raped by a pack of niggers. You know, he did no problematic shit like that. But him buying some Nikes, like, black folk, no, that doesn't make him a supporter of yours. Now, what people are saying is, Rob, you're being unfair. That's what they was telling me on Instagram. If y'all not following me on Instagram, links in the description box. Cut the shit. Rob, you're being unfair. Jim Carrey talks about the Matrix and exposing the Matrix that we live in here in this world. And I'll give people that. I'll give Jim Carrey that. Jim Carrey will come and talk about, you know, how shit's fucked up for the poor and, you know what I'm saying, like the government being fucked up. But that doesn't mean he is doing anything or gives a fuck about institutional racism, institutionalized racism. That's not something that these people even be talking about. Even if you have somebody that talks about this matrix and dismantling this matrix, because we're dealing with two different situations. We live in the matrix that most people are too fucking stupid to see. We don't understand how we're cogs in this machine. But institutionalized racism is real as fuck as well. For example, there are more people that will conceive that 9/11 was an inside job, which I do believe, okay? This is not me speaking against that would-be conspiracy theory. I do believe that. I don't put nothing past this fucking government. If you look at the goddamn evidence, you can't put it past them completely, all right? But there are more people that will conceive the fact that 9/11 was an inside job that then will acknowledge the fact that institutionalized racism exists. I'll say that again. There are more people that will conceive that 9/11 was an inside job and tout that as truth than will even acknowledge the presence of institutionalized racism against melanated peoples. These are two different things. So you can have somebody exposing the matrix, talking about the government. You can have all that shit happening. But these motherfuckers not dealing with institutionalized racism. These white folk that y'all inviting to the cookout, they won't even acknowledge that. Jim Carrey does not acknowledge it. Now, he said something about Nike being freedom friendly, but then how? When they got these goddamn slave shops over in Indonesia making the goddamn shoes. How can you even say that they're freedom friendly? Don't even understand that. But people clapped, and I understand that. You know, Jim Carrey is a charismatic, funny dude. But black people understand when you sitting around showing the world how easily you're impressed with small, just even acknowledgement. It shows our self-esteem in every way all the time. Just a small acknowledgement. Y'all lose y'all mind. Jim Carrey cookout. Come on. Let's go. We got you a plate ready. But he's not dealing with exactly what Colin Kaepernick was even talking about, which would be police brutality. And when you talk about police brutality against black people, you have to talk about the why. You have to talk about where it came from. You have to talk about how it started. And if you deal with how it started, and you deal with how it's been perpetuated even up until present day, you have to deal with institutionalized racism. You have no choice but to deal with that. But that's not the conversation that these motherfuckers want to deal with. I need black people to pay attention. Pay attention to what Nike's doing, how they're doing it. Pay attention to people who are buying Nike products, and all of a sudden, that's revolutionary. All of a sudden, being a consumer is now being a consumer to a white-owned corporation is now looked at as being revolutionary. Like, that is one of the biggest mind fucks I've seen played out in recent years. Is buying Nike is now revolutionary. like Nike about to come do something for the black community, or, you know, formulate some type of fund that seeks out to prosecute these fucking cops that run around here. 3Ks, don't get this shit fucked up. That prosecutes these fucking cops to the fullest extent of the law. To infiltrate the justice system in an effort to make it be fair, regardless of race. To expose the privatized prison complex for what it is. They're not doing no shit like that. But Jim Carrey can come out here, buy some shoes, and come to a cookout. Black people, we look fucking stupid. We look weak, and we're showing our low self-esteem at all times. So what he bought some Nike? So what if he bought the whole goddamn Nike store? Buying shoes, being a consumer of a white business is not a revolutionary act in any sense of the word. Now, you can do it. Again, people get this the conversation gets fucked up here. You can do it, but do not try to pawn it off or sell it as a revolutionary act. Because that is some fucking bullshit. So, that's all the fuck I want to say. You know, I wanted to get that off my chest just because people were saying I was being unfair to him because he talks about the government and says some real shit about the government. But just because, you know, white folk are willing to do that does not mean they are on your team at all in any type of way. Again, Jim Carrey hasn't been problematic. He hasn't come out here and been caught saying nigger or no shit like that. But to deem him somehow now revolutionary and with black people because he went out and bought a pair of Nikes is fucking ignorant. Y'all comment if you feel the need to comment. Click the links in the description box to follow me all over social media, y'all. That's all the fuck I want to say. I'm out.